Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Same as always, my name is Red Baron, and this is the Crypto Treehouse, where we do all of our constant views and seeing what's going on in the market right now. Again, my name is Red Baron. I am from the unfairadvantage.chat, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the markets. And this should have been a Monday night broadcast, but we're coming to you kind of late on Wednesday because we had to kind of preempt the Monday night crypto chat shows because we're having a lot of movement in the market. So, you know, when you got to do therapy, you got to do therapy. Chat is chat, but therapy is therapy. So we had to do that. So we put it off to today because things are kind of hitting a little bit of a stall here. So we're going to bring you last Monday's show now. So I've got it there on air here, and we'll be talking with him in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this recent little mini pump that we're taking on right now, and then we'll get some impressions on what's going to happen. Then we'll go ahead and we'll get to tonight's show. So if you guys want to be a part of what we're doing here, of course, obviously, you probably saw the leading title card. We're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain to one lucky winner. Well, all you got to do in order to qualify for that is just join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free Discord where you come into a mature group of people, not skateboard kids, not spammers, not posters, not people trying to sell you, real estate condos in the Bahamas or something like that. You come in, you got a bunch of people that take crypto seriously. We moderate that group quite well. If you're looking for a home where you can basically get some good, solid information, meet a team of people that really have your best interest at heart, we have a home for you, and we'd love you to join us over at the unfairadvantage.chat. And then, of course, when you click on that, what you're going to get is you're going to get an invite link to our Discord. Simply follow the instructions through there. While I'm on this, a couple of guys are having problems. We've had just an abundance of new signups. So welcome, everybody. We'd love to see you join what we're doing. However, if you guys are having a little problem at the front door getting through, let me kind of explain a little bit about what you need to do. When you go into that, you follow the link to the unfairadvantage.chat. What you're going to be presented with is an invite for our Discord. And what you need to do is you need to click the little bone icon at the bottom. That's how you verify that you're not a robot. If you are a robot, nothing bad to say against you guys, but we're only letting humans in right now. At this point in time, we're 100% organically driven. So basically, you have to come in, you have to hit the chicken bone at the bottom, the little chicken bone icon twice. Click it once, click it twice, and then you're done. That's how you verify that you're human. And then we can let you in. And then go over to the left-hand side if you guys are on the PC, and then just go ahead and click on the spaceman icon, and that'll get you into the group. Okay? So I want to make sure you guys understand that. Now, also, I want to put out a little notice for a lot of you guys that are kind of drifting around in limbo right now that have joined us, that have signed up over at fibbycharts.com. You're trying to connect to our Discord. That is not a straight connection. There is no connection between these two entities. So you actually have to contact us over at Discord and say, hey, I signed up, or at Fibby Charts, I signed up over there. Can I come into the group? And we'll manually vet you and let you in. If you're signing up over there, we want you to be a part of our group. That's just the natural way things go. But you do have to contact me, Red Baron, over on Discord by following the instructions I just gave you, and we'll go ahead and let you in. So if you guys are floating around in limbo, just hook up with one of our mods over on Discord. We'll get you where you need to go. We'll take care of you. No crypto investor left behind. That's our motto. So we want to make sure you're in the right place, doing the right thing, getting the right information. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the chats tonight, and let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the market real quick, and I'll give you my assessment. We'll get on with tonight's show, okay? Give me just a couple minutes of radio silence here. Going to get all my poop in a group, and then we'll get on with this, okay? Hang on just a second. Okay, so if you guys are new to the live stream and you want to know what's going on here with these charts, you guys want to be a part of that, you can go ahead and head on over to fibbycharts.com. That's F-I-B-I charts.com. And basically what that is our automated intelligence predictive programming, which features ISIS, our automated intelligence system. That's her right there. So if you want to subscribe, you just simply go to subscribe right now, or you can go if you want to know what's a part of the group, the different levels of groups. you can go ahead and go there. You can subscribe. It's cheap. You can get in on automated intelligence, predictive crypto price predictions starting at $24.95, and you get these kinds right here. And then of course you can step up to silver. Now I want to caution a lot of you guys that are starting to come into these groups, because I'm seeing it more and more and more. Be sure what you buy, because we don't want you to waste time and not get the valuable information you're at. A lot of you guys are kind of test tasting, nothing wrong with that, but very, very quickly what we're seeing is these guys are getting into bronze. They're going, this is real, this is amazing, and they step up to the next package and the next package and the next package. So I want you guys to be clear on what it is you're getting and what it is you're subscribing to. I want you to get, we don't want to see you overpay for something. We don't want to see you undervalued in what the information that you're getting. So we want to plug you into the right little place within the ecosystem. When a lot of guys are coming in at the gold package level. With gold package, there's a market difference between silver and gold. This is not something to do with the unfairadvantage.chat. There is a differentiation between these two. However, we do give you access to our chat if you're subscribed to the gold package. Gold package contains all these coins right here, plus precious metals, plus you also get a chat. With silver, you don't get the inside chat. You don't get the VI stuff, or the VIP stuff. With bronze, you don't get that. That's just straight charts, only these coins right here. And the general Discord, you don't get the VIP with the price calls and the targets, etc., etc. Entry level for that is gold package. Now, if you want to step up to the ultimate premium, that's the one, the platinum. That's where the big dogs play, and that's we got gold chat plus VIP. And what VIP chat is kind of like copying my homework. It's like looking over my shoulder. If I'm doing something or I'm thinking something, you're knowing about it before any move is made. And you also get over 100 different coins. We actually have quite a few more that have added. A few that have been taken off, like Dragon Coin. But this is ultimately the best package over at FibbyCharts.com, and that is, it's for the more serious investors. But a lot of you guys are pretty big dogs, so it's $249 a month, and I guarantee you that you're going to get far, far more value than what you're spending. The people that are subscribing are just absolutely doing backflips by the calls that are coming in and by the amazing accuracy of the ISIS system. So it's a small price to pay for not making these stupid moves in crypto. We're here to kind of perform crypto therapy and keep you from being your own worst enemy. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the market here. Hang on just one second. All right, so we're going to be working off of the platinum chart level, and this is what the platinum chart interface looks like. Is this right here? These are all the coin accesses that you got, and all the way down. Go all the way down, and you can get to the precious metals, popular stocks, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few of the things, and then we'll go ahead and get to tonight's program. So Bitcoin, what's up with Bitcoin? What's that all about? So we're seeing a couple of possible gray means we're watching it. It's not a call. Just at the start of the show, I want to tell you guys and reiterate many times. I make these calls. I do this stuff on YouTube almost nightly lately. And I'm letting everybody know kind of my thoughts on this, but invariably, I will get you guys calling me and saying, is it a bull market? Is it going up? Is it going up? And I've already told you my thoughts on this. We are not going up. No matter what you see, this basically is part of the Wyckoff event that we were talking about, the Wyckoff formation. It's designed to get you guys pumped up with hopium, get you guys in the market, and then rug pull you yet again and take your money. So if we back off and we take a real good look at where the market has been lately, you can clearly see we are nowhere close to anything that's even breaking out of a recent trend. So keep a grip on it. It's not we're not seeing anything here that's getting me all uppity. So you guys shouldn't be either. And to be real honest, I think that we might see a little bit of a jiggle upward. But I mean, we're expecting targets of 25,000 right now. We're watching for a target of 25,000, and after that, a target of 20. But we play the deck that we're dealt. You don't go to Vegas and play five card decks ahead. You play the card that's dealt you. And right now, we're being dealt a 33,193 Bitcoin, and we're playing against the casino and against the crypto exchanges, and we want to know what next card they're gonna turn over. So we want to make an intelligent decision based upon the information we have right now, and that's what the ISIS system helps us do. So in order to do that, basically what I've got is I got a couple little, these are kind of basically monitors to see if I were to see a pumped up move. I would not expect to see it above, what do we got? 36,250 thereabouts. But I really have my doubts that we're probably going to run very high on this, because what comes after the pump, the dump. And the dump is going to be, I'm talking about the Grand Slam, and I'm not talking about the Grand Slam you get for $2.99 at Denny's. And this one's going to be a big one for all the marbles, folks. When this one goes down this time, it's going to take every friggin' thing with it. And so we wait, we watch, we wait. We're getting very, very close. So I called dead on accuracy. I told you this was going to start on the 17th, and lo and behold, the door opened, and it's just been a shit show ever since. And I told you that it was probably going to take another turn on the 21st, and lo and behold, it happened again. So I told you that now we watch, we wait, and we see what happens. But we're running out of time for the month, folks. Things have to be done by the end of the month. And so this is going to be a sketchy, itchy, scary time to be in the market. Which is why I don't make financial advice. I don't give financial advice. I don't give recommendations. You know, I'm a big boy. You're a big girl, big boy, whatever. We both wear our adult pants and stuff like that. We don't lean on other people and blame them for our problems. However, I will share my opinions with you, and that's all they are, is opinions. I believe that this is a bad time to be taking a position in any form of market. Wait. Nothing. There's no indicators right now showing you that the blue sky is yet to come, but there's many, many things proving and showing, and logic is one of them, saying that we're going to be going much, much lower than where we are right now. As I've said many, many times, if we've come this far, why would we stop now? Why would we stop now? If we're looking at Bitcoin, where it is right now, let's go ahead and take a look at, so I'm expecting actually a move further down here, but let's go ahead and get into XRP, and I'll make the case here for you guys that are new on live stream. If you guys have never come to our program before, welcome. Glad to have you. Got a lot to show you, a lot to teach you. Now we're calling for 22 to 25 cents XRP, and we've come so far down, guys. 64 cents. We're in a little bit of a pump zone. We've gotten down recently as low as about 52 and some change. This here is nothing to get excited about. I mean, look at the trend. Look at the trend. There's so much more above us than there is below us. The trend is not your friend. It's just at this point in time. And so where we're headed is we're headed lower. We have to complete this mission to the bottom. It's a mission to the bottom is what it is. Why in God's name would we be at 64 cents right now if we're not intending on going lower? Who the powers that be, what's the motivation to take us to 64 cents if we're not going to go to the bottom? The bottom is 22 to 25 based upon past historical resistance and support. So that's obviously a floor support. We spent a long time last summer in that area. So I'm not suggesting we might not go lower, but let's keep a grip on it and be somewhat realistic with our technical analysis. So 22 to 25 cents is a very, very logical stop-off, drop-off point. Now I'm going to start looking very intently at 30 cents because 30 cents will linger at 30, but I think we're going to plunge through that. So I'm not putting 30 on the table as a bottom because in my heart and my soul, I really don't believe that that's it. 25, I don't believe that's it either. So we're watching for that right now, and that's kind of nothing's changed about that. And so we watch XRP, we watch Bitcoin, we see what they're doing, and the rest of the market will follow suit. And so currently we're sitting at 64 cents as I speak right now. I do expect a little bit of a marginal pump. Maybe if they're going to play games with us and try to hit us with some hopium. ISIS threw me some data that I basically kind of hand sketched this little purple. Purple is theory, by the way. Purple color is theory. I'm expecting probably a run, maybe a pump up to about this line, and we reject off that. Why would we do that? Because we already have somewhat of a weak excuse for a trend line there. Keeps us within the general narrative. So if we get a run to that, we could possibly wake up to the double Fibonacci and AI line, but I'm not quite ready to go on record saying I think we're going to do that. But I would not panic. If we get up to 70 cents, I don't think that there's any reason to go all in, thinking this is the big one to the positive side, because I just ain't feeling it, folks. I'm just not feeling it. We have not gone all the way to the bottom, so we cannot go up from here. It just doesn't make sense. All right, so I want to speak to the note that I put on here for the guys that are subscribers. So hats off to my, or tip of the hat to all my gold and platinum and diamond subscribers over at fibbycharts.com. Glad to have you guys. A lot of new subscribers over there from what I'm understanding. There's been an abundance of you guys that have upgraded and stuff. Glad to have you amongst us, guys. We want to give nothing but value to you guys and make you guys nothing but happy you made the jump over and put the money down and put your faith in me and all the rest of the people that are part of the organization. So we're all very thrilled to have you as part of what we do. So anyway, back to this. This is a bot move, guys. Choppy, very digital. You can see it right here. So I just threw a little note in here just for fun. I like to teach as I chart. I like to teach you guys what to look for. This is a complete completely manipulated digital thing, pretty much from about here. And so this is just here, and it's snaking through and trying to get you to the next move where it's going to hit you with something. So if it hits you to the upside, my guess, based upon standard technical analysis, is going to take you to top or right about here on the red box. And I have odds are probably about 75 to 80% that's going to happen. But when we hit this, I think we're going to have the great give back. It might wick once, step over a candle, and then drop right back and give it all back and take it all back. And so be watching for that, because I don't think a lot of people understand exactly how often this happens. And I see it quite often because I'm sitting in front of this computer about 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so that's pretty much the move we're going to be seeing in the next 24 to 48 hours. Chris, welcome from Brazil, brother. Glad to have you. Got a lot of guys from these smaller countries kind of coming in because we're doing a lot of advertising all over the world. So, Brazil, from South Africa, from Jamaica, from, Thailand, Paris, Germany, you name it, coming in from all over the world. We're all one people. We're all one passion. Glad to have each and every single one of you. Okay? All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other things. Let's throw a little glance at Ethereum, see what's going on. Ethereum's always one we want to pay real close attention to, because Ethereum is the gas that helps us buy the shit coins and the lesser investments. ERC20 coins, absolutely something that we need to have the gas for. So the price of Ethereum is critically important to be able to get those massive returns on those cheaper coins. All right, so Ethereum's kind of basically following that same exact thing. Now, where do I see this thing pumping up to? Let's go ahead and get that out of there. It's not necessary. Well, if we're going to be making a TA move on this, I'm pretty much expecting that where we're going to be is likely right about here. And again, don't get too filled with hope. But if we do come up, technical analysis would have us probably go from about here to here. It'll take us right up into that very easily. I'm not going to make that a yellow because I'm not feeling very yellow right now. I'm going to leave it as gray because it really, I don't want any of you guys trading on this because I don't think that this is anything. Now, the percent move that you're looking at from where we're at, from there to there, it's 11 and a half. Pretty good. I don't advocate, a lot of you guys are coming into my group and you're subscribing to my automated intelligence charts and you're out there swing trading. You better be careful. I don't advocate leverage trading, but I know about now about 20 of you guys are doing it and you're killing it. I mean, bravo. Bravo. I'm not saying I don't enjoy gambling too, but let's not be stupid. So make sure that it's not a huge amount of your portfolio. Don't throw anything in the slot machine. Don't put anything on the poker table that you're not willing to let somebody walk by and pick up, because it can happen faster than you realize. Just because you have one of the most deadly accurate systems out there doesn't mean you still won't get your ass handed to you in a high hat once in a while. Okay. So make sure that you got a grip on your reality. Don't bet anything with leverage that you can't afford to lose. I don't want to hear anybody telling me that you're going to lose your house or your car or your family or something like that. We're not in this to lose. We're in this to use statistical probability and be able to clean these guys out. If it takes a little while longer to do it because we're being safe about it, then so be it. But nonetheless, we are going to win. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get the show started tonight. So we'll check in here briefly. I'll do my little commercial breaks and my little promos between Bear. So I got Bear on the line with me tonight. So how you doing, Bear?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. So what are we going to talk about tonight?
Tonight is going to be central bank digital currencies and also bridge currencies, which are going to be used to move that money around. And then which the individual ones we're going to be talking about are XRP and Telcoin.
Okay.
So it's going to be a pretty interesting night.
Yeah, this one's going to be quite a bit of a longer one than we normally do. So if you guys got some time blocked out, this is going to be probably one of the best, most important shows we've done so far since we've been doing Crypto Chat.
Yep, I agree. This is going to be pretty interesting because I know a lot of you guys know about central bank digital currencies, but I don't think a lot of you guys know about what that framework is probably going to end up looking like and the amount of value that's going to be locked into XRP specifically because of that. Mm-hmm. Yep. So XRP, as you guys know, is a bridge currency. It's intended to basically carry value from one place to another, right?
Hang tight just a second. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the screen up here so that these guys can see the the same screen share that I'm looking at here. Hang on just a moment. I got too many screens open here. Give me just a minute here. All right, you're good to go. Have at it.
All right. So central bank digital currencies are basically a way for the financial institutions of the past to update themselves into the modern age and actually make themselves competitive on the tech space. Now, there's actually some interesting revelations that just occurred in the last few days, so it's probably a good thing we pushed it off for Monday because there were some interesting things we've added to what we're going to be talking about tonight as a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you guys probably know is that a lot of banks and stuff have been talking about having central bank digital currencies. A lot of pilot projects. You've heard of the digital yuan. The digital yuan is basically China's digital currency. But I don't think you guys, a lot of you understand what the digital yuan is. It's not a yuan. It's actually a new currency. So think when the petrodollar was originally created in the U.S., right? It was a new currency. A lot of people think it was the same currency because it's still called the USD, but it wasn't because they took it off of the old standard and moved it onto a new system. That's basically what they're talking about doing right now with central bank digital currencies. It's not going to be pegged to the petrodollar anymore, so we're going to lose access to, say, the deals we've had in the past with Saudi Arabia selling oil for dollars. As you can see with Russia, they're already getting off that system. China's already getting off that system. A lot of big institutions are divesting themselves, and governments are divesting themselves from the dollar. So, as a result, a lot of central banks around the world have had to scramble to make digital currencies a reality. And they didn't want to do it. They had to get dragged there kicking and screaming, as you guys will see tonight, because they like the system the way it is. It makes them money. It keeps their banker friends in. It gives them a revolving door. The system works for them.
Yeah, as I've said many times, banks are big institutions. They're like dinosaurs. It's very hard to get up and start moving in a new direction. But once they do, it's like a rock rolling down a hill. It's very, very hard to change. So the plans and the motions are already set in place. So now we're starting to pick up speed. So it's kind of hard for them to reverse direction down a dirt road and go back to the old system. So like it or not, it's starting to erode, and we can see that.
Yep, exactly. And when it comes to these currencies, what the key takeaway I want you guys to have from tonight is that a central bank digital currency is not a stable coin. A lot of people will get those confused. It's not. It's actually legal tender. So it can be used to pay taxes. It can be used all for those kind of things. And the biggest deal is it's not pegged to, like USDT, for instance, is pegged to the dollar, which is the petrodollar, right? Digital USD is going to be pegged to itself. So the value is going to be driven by its own use, just like the dollar is right now in the Forex markets. So the main advantages of CBDCs and why they're trying to use them is because it allows them to institute their new system more easily. For instance, UBI is going to be way more easy to deploy if they have digital yuan, because now you don't have to go to the IRS and sign up and put in your email address and then get all of the tax code. Literally, they can just send the UBI to your bank, and your bank can then distribute it to you directly. Correct. Which is way easier in terms of being able to deploy helicopter money, which helps them protect themselves from previous attempts at stabilizing economies. For instance, Japan had an example of this, where they were going through a stagflation episode, and they were using the central bank to directly buy stocks and bonds on the stock market. Well, that creates a problem because now you have one giant bag holder instead of a bunch of smaller bag holders, which you can do more easily if you have a distributed airdrop, right? That's the main advantage, is that decentralization keeps people from dumping stocks onto the market so that you don't have this weird kind of elephant in the room of a giant 20% of the stock markets being held by the central bank, which makes everybody a little nervous. And that really opens up a lot of utility for them. In a way, it's not so great for us because of this one key factor, and this I'll keep on elaborating on this tonight a lot because this is actually the central point of XRP. So the key factor here is, and you'll see this right here, this is a Goldman Sachs analyst, and he was talking about a lot of different aspects of what they're talking about building into the CBDCs what they might look like. But the key takeaway from this was this bit down here, which is, let's see here if I can find it, this right here. So this, crucially, however, all banks using distributed ledger technology are using a permissioned version. Okay, so a permissioned version. What is that? That is basically the banks will not let you hold your CBDC dollars in a private ledger, private wallet. This
Correct.
is to protect their banking friends.
Correct.
And that's all it really is.
Let me interrupt that for just a second.
Sure.
I have rallied and ranted about the future of XRP. I have told you folks, 6 months to 12 months ago, those of you that are longtime subscribers, longtime listeners to what I'm saying, there is going to come a time where you will not be able to hold XRP in a private ledger. Ledger's basically going to be a dinosaur chip. It really is. This is all going to be, as I've said many, many, many times, they're not going to let you hold your wealth in your own possession. You've got to go park it with the big boys, like a Chuck Schwab, like a Wells Fargo's, like whatever. And so what you're about to tell us fulfills my prophecy perfectly.
Yep, they just don't like you being able to hold your wealth. That's really what it is, because then they can't do what they're doing right now, which is basically use your wealth to reloan it out, which is what they always wanted to do. You know, they love that fractional reserve system because it allows them to create money out of thin air. So if you can create that with cryptos, why not, right? Everybody thinks that not your keys, not your wallet, but eventually they're going to start closing down doors, especially when the system starts to really come online in a big way. Because, you know, there's a lot of libertarians in the space right now, but is the vast majority of the world libertarian? No. They're very comfortable letting banks hold their money for them, and that's not going to be good for, you know, the general world as a whole in terms of having a stable system where you can hold that money and not have to worry about, you know, shenanigans going on in the background. But that seems to be the way it is, and that's just looking at it. That's what they're talking about right now here with this permissioned version. So how that's going to play out with XRP basically is XRP, if you guys have been following XRP, has tons of deals with central banks all across the world, right? And that's to do one very simple thing. A CBDC is useless without a bridge currency, and that bridge currency has to be neutral. It has to be, and it has to be pegged to itself. Because think about this situation, right? If I am the central bank of Kenya and I want to send money to the central bank of Rwanda, I can send them the Kenyan dollar. I'm not sure exactly what that's called. Do you know what it's called?
KES.
Right there?
KES. It's called a shilling.
KES?
It's called a shilling.
Shilling, okay. I can send a shilling down to Rwanda, right? Rwanda, what are they going to do with it? They're going to park it in their bank? No. They're going to want something that has universal value, correct? But all they'd have to do is then they would send it back to Rwanda, and then they would have to, or back to Kenya, and then Kenya would have to exchange it for Rwandan, and then it just doesn't work, right? So they need to have an intermediary to carry that value from Kenya to Rwanda, and that's where XRP comes in. Because XRP is not pegged to anything; it's distributed. It's not centralized in the sense of it being like a CBDC, where you have a central bank that's in control of this ledger. It's global. So think of like what is that called? The Biz has it. It's called like the SDA or the something like that. Anyway, it's the dollar that they use to do bank settlements right now. It's inefficient. It's part of the old SWIFT system, and it just doesn't work for the new CBDC system. So as a result, XRP is going to be the bridge currency throughout every single central bank on Earth, right? So you're saying, okay, well, that sounds really good. That sounds like a lot of value. Yes, it's going to be an immense amount of value because it's the only one they're going to use. Because they don't want to be having any kind of noise in this system they're building, right? And that's why they're trying to shake everybody out right now. Because the last thing they want to do is have Joe Schmo sitting on his couch messing with their money as they're sending it across the interstate, you know?
And that's exactly the word to say, their money. Make no mistake about it. This was never intended for us. Their money. You said it exactly right.
Yep.
And that's how they look at it.
So I mean, and this is how it's it's always been with them. That's why they keep on creating the systems that are so centralized and in their control and severed off from the public. They let you trade, right? But they don't let you trade on their systems. So what XRP is going to do is the XRP is going to be the only connection point between the newer crypto space and the central bank system. That's why XRP is going to be so huge. Because of specifically this right here, permissioned versions. They're not going to let you have any access to this system except for through XRP. Mm-hmm. So XRP, that's why I say XRP 50,000, because you got. I know.
Wait, you just kind of dropped that on everybody. I mean, you and I talked about this. You might want to back up because I think you probably just knocked a few people out with that price. Baby steps. Get them to understand exactly how we get to 50,000, because that's like whiplash level pricing.
I know, right? I like the whiplash though. Then they have to recoil a bit, and then I can explain to you.
Exactly.
So this is why it can happen from three perspectives here, right? One is the obvious one, inflation, right? We're currently in a parabolic money supply, right? Look at this thing. Like this is from Shadow Stats. You know, this is where you can get the real stats for actual money supply, and it's going parabolic right now. So you're talking about massive amounts, and you think that's going to slow down anytime soon? But do you really think they're going to raise interest rates? No, they're not going to raise interest rates. They're not going to stop printing because they cannot. So what they're going to have to do is they're either going to have to do revaluation, or they're going to have to reboot the system basically, or they're going to just have to make it work, have inflation go, and just be like something like Japan, where now you just have like you're buying a cup of coffee for $500 or something. You know, it's just the way that we're looking at these things, and that's why XRP can be $50,000. So you're talking about massive inflation. Now that's one, right? Bridge between the central banks. So it is going to be carrying all the value between these systems, right? And they're going to have reserves too. So the value is not just going to be, picked up and then dropped off, right? They need to have that price be untenable for anyone wanting to buy this coin. So it's going to be immense. It's going to be pretty stable, in my opinion. Because I don't think they're going to want anyone swing trading this thing. I think it's probably just mostly just flat. But getting up to the point where it's mostly flat, that's where we're going to talk about. That's where the money is going to be made, right? And then the third aspect of this is going to be the potential burning of the escrow, right? Because we all know that the Ripple case, that could be as part of the settlement. They go, okay, well, give us or burn this percentage of the escrow because it's controlled by you guys, and it makes you guys look like a security. So that could be part of the settlement case. If all of that happens, we could see 50,000, right?
Very easily.
That's why I say
very easily.
Yep, that's why I say 50,000. Yep.
And I don't believe it'll be just one event. I believe it'll be a combination thereof. And then other things that most people are not even thinking of. But I do, and I've long said this, but I've never been able to kind of enunciate it in quite the way that most people can understand. And I always like to fall back to my simplistic things so that, Joe Lunchbucket can kind of understand me. If you talk to someone, you say, "Oh, well, I'm a millionaire." It's impressive right now. Back in the 1920s, being a millionaire was something. It was like being almost a billionaire. But at the essence of, or at the crux of this, you're like, well, what does a loaf of bread buy you when XRP is $50,000? Make no mistake about it, you would rather have 50,000 XRP because there's got a lot of people that don't even have crypto. Period. Those are the folks that are going to be stuck in the UBI system, the Universal Basic Income system. And once you're in that system, folks, trust me, it's going to be a hard one to escape. It's going to be generational poverty, generational slavery, unquestionably. So this is, we won't get off topic too much here. I'll let him continue to keep talking. But you must understand that don't look at 50,000 in today's terms, because, what could that possibly be? Who knows? Who knows what the dollar or what's left of it will be worth when this all comes to pass? And I'm talking like this year or mid next year. But make no mistake about it, to have a position at the table, to have a position in XRP and these related coins makes absolutely abundant sense of just good idea. And but to not be positioned in any way, shape, or form and just say, well, I've got my money in the bank and I'm okay. I think that's probably going to be the stupidest, worst thing you could possibly ever do, because your money may just end up just being nothing but just digital numbers that don't even buy you anything, including that loaf of bread.
Yeah, and that's not needless to say about the potential risk of a bail-in situation.
Which is high likelihood. I have that in my upper tier groups. I have talked about that before. A bail-in is almost certain. I would put 90 to 95% likelihood. They might not call it a bail-in, but the functionality of it will work very much the same. They'll just close their doors, take your money, and say, well, we're going to reinvent this. And lo and behold, I always like to pick on Wells Fargo because they suck. But Wells Fargo, they'll shut their doors and go, well, we had a good run after, however hell long that they've been a bank and stuff like that. But they'll pop back up and they'll be in the crypto business. Don't make any mistake. But Wells Fargo, the bank, will not be Wells Fargo, the bank. It'll be Wells Fargo, your friendly neighborhood or your friendly online crypto dealer now. But Wells Fargo's not going away. But they'll construe this enough to be able to close the doors and call it a bank failure, take your money and go buy crypto with it, and then sell it back to you if you got anything left to buy it back with.
Yeah, pretty much that's what we're looking at. It's going to be, kind of a crazy system that we're going into, and there's going to be a large disparity between those who have and those who haven't. So, make sure that you're in the have group, because the last thing you want to be is in the group that doesn't have.
Absolutely. So go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have to kind of jump in with a little common sense every once in a while. So go ahead.
Of course. So this is what I think is going to happen right here, right? So as you can see, it says central bank digital currencies get full biz backing. Now this is one of the things I was talking about that just came out, and this is how I think things are going to play out with XRP. So XRP cannot have the flip switched, as so to speak. As XRP hodlers know, the flip switching is basically when XRP goes live as the bridge currency for the central bank digital currencies. Well, they can't flip the switch until they have the central bank digital currencies already available to the public, or not to the public, so to speak, but at least developed and out of the pilot program and usable by these banks, right? So the fact that we're getting fast-tracked now by the biz, and if you guys don't know who the biz is, I'll catch you up to speed real quick. The biz is the bank of the banks. Basically, it's the ultimate settlement bank of all the central banks, the king bank, so to speak. And if it's giving its digital currency blessing, can be well assured that central bank digital currencies are on the way. And they're on the way a lot faster than you think because of the value of the dollar depreciating very quickly, the fact that they can now see a threat, and this was actually published specifically for one specific reason. They're concerned that money will be taken over by tech companies. That's the last thing they will allow to happen.
And they're trying. They're trying. You can hear about it. Somebody seems like Facebook. They're trying to do. If I'm not mistaken, I don't follow Facebook because I hate them. But they were. If I'm not mistaken, were they not making inroads for a banking license? Am I imagining that in my fevered dreams, or did that actually happen?
Well, they were probably going to do that. I know that they were launching a cryptocurrency called Libra, and that kind of fell flat on its face because nobody likes Facebook.
Yeah.
So there was fortunately enough of a understanding within the crypto space to say, you can shove it up your behind, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, because we don't want anything to do with that.
Now, related to that, but not related to that, I do want to make you guys aware. I'll throw you guys a public bone. Amazon is going to be rolling out their own coin. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss kind of thing. But this one's going to survive. Amazon is going to be rolling out here in the next year or so their own personal crypto. And I view it right now. We've looked at this. I view it as being actually a good thing for us as investors. So tip of the hat there to Amazon to possibly giving us another thing to get in on. So. But definitely not the same as a Libra.
Sure. They're timing the markets a lot better, though. That's part of the issue with Libra, too, is that Libra was way too early to the party.
Well, nobody trusts Zuckerberg anyway. I mean, what are you going to do with a Libra coin other than just give away all your information? I mean, it's not a huge stretch of imagination to say, okay, well, I'm going to buy an Amazon coin. What can I do with it? Well, I can buy shit. I can just get on Amazon and buy stuff. So to that point, they have a little bit of a pass because they're known as a commodity, or they're known as a durable goods retailer, not a purveyor of stealing your damn information and whoring it all over the internet to their big buddies. So definitely not the same methodology behind the coin. So Amazon will do quite well.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Like, because when it comes to Libra, it's like, what are they selling?
You,
they can't sell your information, but they can't sell you anything else. Maybe likes, I guess. Yeah, sell me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see what's going on here with everything coming forward with Biz and CBDCs and XRP potentially being worth as much as we're talking about. It's a big shift, and it's going to happen fairly rapidly. And it's going to be a matter of necessity for these people because. With this kind of thing, I'm just realizing now that this tower looks like the Tower of Babylon. That's kind of funny.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Nothing to see here. Keep moving.
Exactly. All right. Well, not to get sidetracked here, but so Telcoin is going to be, I think, the bridge currency for the everyday person, basically. So if we're going to switch gears here to Telcoin is actually let me bring up a page here. Telcoin. So Telcoin is a bridge currency that basically utilizes the SMS messaging system on your phone. It's based off of a bunch of, and I'm going to be making a video about this too. I'm not going to give away all my tricks here, but if you tune into the new video I'm going to be releasing, it's going to be a lot more in there, and it's going to be some really key takeaways that I think you guys are going to like. So definitely tune in for that. But I'll give you some snapshots here. So actually, Nebraska right here. So everyone heard recently, I think, and if you hadn't, I'll just fill you in real quick, that Nebraska is getting into the cryptocurrency space. Well, why? Who are they partnering with? What are they doing, right? Well, they're trying to create banks, crypto banks, basically, so they can hold your money for you. And this ties back into what Red Baron was mentioning about too, with you're not going to be able to hold it. Well, it looks like they're setting up the framework right here, which is these crypto banks. They can hold your bank, they can hold your crypto for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Telcoin is the front runner in this new Nebraska initiative. So Telcoin is run by this guy. His name's Paul Nooner. He's been into crypto since 2016. So Telcoin was released in 2017, and I think the market cap is about 1.5 billion. Circulating supply, I think, is similar to XRP. It's about half of what is actually in the total supply. They have escrow similar to that, and the system works basically by you can send money over your phone to another person in another country, right? Well, how does that differ from something like MoneyGram, you might ask? Well, MoneyGram is more expensive. That's really what it comes down to. MoneyGram is about 7%. Telcoin is about 2.5%, and they're looking to reduce that price even further down to 2%. So right off the bat, they're just completely knocking the traditional banks, the traditional money changers out of the pond. I mean, they're cutting their fees in over half, and they're looking to do like 3 times cutting their fees in half. And they don't have to have any kind of the same like brick and mortar stores or anything like that the traditional markets have. So you can be rest assured that MoneyGram and the current system that they have set up, if they don't get on board and start creating their own version of Telcoin, which I doubt because they seem kind of like a dinosaur, that Telcoin is just going to come and eat their lunch, basically. So Telcoin is currently a governance token. So I know XRP, when people think XRP, they think, okay, it's carrying value from place to place, right? Well, Telcoin isn't. But what it's doing is it's enabling you to vote on new initiatives, aspects, and they're going to be adding new features to it and stuff. There's staking available and whatnot. But they have like 1 million partnerships. You'd be very surprised. Currently, they're available. Here, I'll have an infographic that I made here. I'll show it to you guys. Check this out. This is all the partnerships they have with different, and you have M-Pesa down there, as I'm sure you guys have heard about. But
yes,
they have a bunch of different payment providers all across the world. Currently, they're live in Canada, and they're working on the U.S. They might be live by now. I know it's going to be happening pretty soon. They're trying to get that Mexico, America cross-borders payment system set up, which is going to be huge, as everybody knows. And they're right now they're live in all these countries. Total across all of their different payment systems, they have access to. Now they're not actually utilizing all of this yet, but as market cap develops, as people become more aware of this coin, as people become more aware of the advantages in pricing, more people are going to be using this. Why? Because when you're sending home $100 to your family so they can eat, that 5% matters a lot. That's a huge deal. So when it comes to these kind of things, right? You got, as you can see here, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Fiji, Ghana, Guatemala, Indonesia, Kenya, Sri Lanka, Malawi,
Philippines,
Nepal,
which should be at the top of that list.
Yeah, Philippines, and that was actually their first deal. Zcash right here.
Yeah,
that was their first deal. That's what busted onto the market.
Yeah, for those of
Yeah,
you
sure
don't
you know-
know,
I'm sure you know about that.
obviously I talk about this an awful lot, but for you guys that are new, I lived in the Philippines for 2 years, so I know, and he mentions M-Pesa. I've spent a goodly amount of time in Kenya as well, so I've seen the practical application of this stuff. I've actually used these services, so I can tell you they're legit. They're legit. As far as Philippines goes, that country would dry up and blow away if it weren't for, guys and families sending back money. There's two different forms of money that come into the Philippines from foreigners or from foreign sources. One is, there's a member of the family that's sent off to go do work in the first world countries like UAE, Great Britain, be maids, home care, house workers, whatever. And that one or two people sends back money to take care and maintain the family. So that's pretty much what keeps the country floating. The second is obviously these older guys that get these young, pretty little girlfriends and stuff like that, send their girlfriends money back and stuff like that to support them and sponsor them is what they call it. And, but that's 70%, if not more, of the Philippines' gross domestic product or of their gross income. So without this, I'm telling you right now, there'd be whole countries that dry up and blow away. Philippines would be the first one to do it. So this is massively important.
Yep. It's pretty amazing how all these things are playing out in the background, and a lot of people aren't even aware of it, because this coin right here is going to be huge, because we already see them making inroads in Nebraska. They're actually applying for banking license in Nebraska as we speak, so they'll be able to hold all of your coins, whatever you want to send, because Telcoin's not, excuse me, it's not restricted specifically just to, like traditional fiat currencies, right? They'll probably get a bunch of other aspects too, like for instance, CBDCs, right? They could send CBDCs. We'll see how that works out in terms of, interbank lending versus from account to account. I think that's going to be more how they're focused. They'll probably be more from account to account, so you can send, your friend Rick some cash, that kind of thing. Where XRP is probably going to be from like Wells Fargo to JP Morgan kind of deal. And the big takeaway I think you guys should get from all these deals is, together with just the deals they have right now, they have a total potential user base of 700 million people, which is like 1/8 of the planet almost, 1/7 of or 1/9 of the planet. That's absolutely huge, right? And that's just them getting started. They haven't even really gotten fully fleshed out yet. Imagine when they get into like China or the U.S. finally, or South America, or a lot of these other places that they haven't even touched on to yet. So there's a lot of room to grow for this coin, and there's going to be a lot of development. The service is still playing out, and it's fairly difficult to get, actually. It's not really widely available yet, because the CEO, Paul Nooner, specifically has stated that he is not interested in marketing. And that seems surprising to you guys, I know. But
this is Telcoin you're talking about for specifics.
Yes. This is Telcoin.
Now, if you were to want to get that, just because I know people are going to start popping it up in the chat, if you say it's hard to get, but where would you get it if you wanted to get it?
Well, I believe right now it's an ERC20 coin. So let me check out here real quick. I think it's available. So any DeFi exchange, Uniswap most likely.
Henry says we can get it on Bitrue.
True. Let's see here.
Bitrue, JLegs confirms
looks
that.
like KuCoin, QuickSwap, and Uniswap. Bitrue might be possible. It's not listed on Coin.
I don't have my charts in front of me, guys. What's Telco sound? Put it in the chat. What's it selling for right now? What's the list price on it right now?
It's currently 2 cents. So still pretty cheap.
I don't want to hear any of you guys tell me you didn't get some of this. None of you.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. So this is a pretty big deal here. So as you might notice there, this is Facebook up in the corner, and I put that there is because Telin is a nationalized telecom and network company. So they have phones and also networks. And they're currently in a deal right now with Facebook to lay a new intercontinental data line across the Pacific Ocean to increase the capacity by like 70% about. So you're talking about a coin that's going to be in there. Like Telin is going to be basically in charge of this thing. And it's also associated with the Philippines, and it's going to be basically, if you're friends with these companies, you get access to all these extra benefits and stuff. So that's more like a implied value in the future going to be developing just because of how much of a kingpin Telin is going to become. And yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of development over the next coming years with Telin specifically, because they're kind of a slow moving giant as well, but they're not. They act like a slow moving giant, but they're not like a slow moving giant in price in terms of how they go about their business, because they're extremely, almost to a detriment, regulatory focused. They do not want anyone to come down at them telling them they're not working within the state of the law. They're not willing to do anything that goes against anything. So they need complete clarity before they even start doing certain things. That's why you see certain things not being utilized yet. That's why you see its position as a governance token. So there's a lot of room for this coin to grow in terms of how.
Yeah, and we're not suggesting by focusing on this tonight, we're not suggesting that in this week, this month, or even this year that this is going to be the one that's going to be exploding. What he just said, I want you guys to go back and rewind and listen. These guys are not hungry to jump out and make big moves right now because they're scared. Scared is my interpretation of regulatory problems, and for good reason. Because it just seems like you go down a road that doesn't have clarity, and all of a sudden they're telling, "Oh no, that's illegal." I'm like, well, nobody was there. That's what XRP is going through right now. What Ripple's going through right now, and they don't want none of that. So what I'm telling you by saying this is, it could be, and I'm just pulling numbers out of my butt here, but it could be 3-4 years before we see any real substantial move. But if you're jumping in at 2 cents or whatever the price is during this crash, don't go hot and heavy and stuff like that. But this obviously would be an optimum time to consider a purchase, insofar as I'm concerned, because when nobody wants it, that's when you want to be buying it. You just have to understand the news.
Yep, I agree. So to bring it back a little bit back to the CBDCs, and more specifically XRP, and I'm going to touch on Flare a little bit here just to give you guys a kind of a taste of how I see things potentially turning out with the new kind of XRP, Flare, XLM, system, right? So because XRP is going to be carrying all this value, right? One of the major things that I think we should pay attention to, at least I'm going to be paying attention to, is where XRP hooks in, right? Where it hooks into the other parts of the market, right? And one of the biggest places it hooks in right now is Flare, right? They had the snapshot. They're basically, the first thing they onboarded was XRP with FXRP, and they're going to be doing like liquidity pools and all this other kind of stuff with these tokens, and some kinds of loaning of capabilities as well. And that's where I think we're going to see a lot of growth in the coins that are on the Flare network because of the ability for them to tap into the XRP. It's like when you have a giant bucket of money sloshing around, it's going to spill out onto everything around it. So if you're in the things that are associated with the Flare network, as a result, the XRP value is going to pour over into these other things as well, because you're going to have staking pairs, you're going to have all these other aspects to it as well. So that's how I think we're going to see a lot of growth coming into the DeFi space through Flare, basically, and then bumping up these coins. Like, let me think here. What's on the Flare network? XTC, for instance. That's one that was just introduced. I'm going to be doing research on that one in the future. I'm going to be bringing that one to you. We can do a deep dive on that. We can figure out more about that one. I think there's something there, but I'm not going to go into it right now. But we're talking about, what I was saying, a giant bag of money. So things like Flare, Flare, which is yield Flare, which is liquidity pool staking, the flash loan capability, even something like DOGE. DOGE is on Flare. That's kind of crazy, right? Mm-hmm. But it's on Flare, and as a result, it gives it legs. It gives it legs. It could even give it staying power. Who knows? It's got one thing about it that the powers that be really like. It's inflationary. It's never going to have a hard cap, so it will continue to pump up over time. It hides value, you know, it hides the deflation, you know, it hides all that kind of stuff. So they love inflation. You constantly hear them talking about how good inflation is for the economy and stuff like that. But you know, that's could give Doge legs. Who knows? You could end up using it as a currency at some point if they update it well. Because basically what Flare does is it enables smart contracts, as we've talked about in previous episodes. Smart contracts is basically where you can just sign a pop-up on your screen that does something. For instance, it can give loans. It can give it can do certain kinds of payment procedures, you know, all this kind of stuff that you guys have probably utilized using Uniswap or 1inch. Those are kind of smart contracts that I'm talking about. Well, now you can do that with Doge too. So you can have a Doge DEX if you wanted through the Flare, the Flare ecosystem. I don't know if anybody developed that, but they might. Who knows? So you know, Flare gives a lot of aspects to a lot of different coins, including XRP. So XRP can also be used with smart contracts through Flare as well. And don't you think that that people are going to love that when you're talking about being able to do loans using XRP? Yeah, I think so. I think that's going to be a real big money maker right there.
Absolutely.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's what pretty much I've covered at CBDCs as I think that they're going to be. So Intel's going to be a good one, I think. So if you want to have anything to add, Red Baron, I think that's pretty much what I got for right now.
Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the market here real quick. And of course, let's do a little housekeeping, make sure we get everybody understood what's going on here. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We've got a few things I want to tell you about here. One of which is we're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain here at the end of this month, first of next month. So be sure to like, subscribe, and get notices, and be here or be square. We're going to be on the 1st of July. We're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain to one lucky winner who subscribes to the unfairadvantage.chat. From amongst those folks that are on the chat, hang on just a second, let me go ahead and open that up here real quick. All right, there we go. So if you go to the unfairadvantage.chat, you can just basically, there's no charge to be in there. That's just our group community. It's free to join, free to be a part of. And if you guys want to level up and get into the VIP chats, into the gold, into the platinum stuff, go ahead and join those guys at fibicharts.com, and you can get in on the predictive charts that have all my notations that are aggregated from the stuff that I do, collects and compiles over at fibicharts.com. And you can see all the stuff that I'm doing and all of the amazing work that ISIS, our automated intelligence system, does for predicting prices and levels and directions and stuff like that. You can get what we call the unfair advantage. Get the power of the magic chicken bones working for your portfolio. So again, that's basically all we got going on for tonight. Thank you very much, Red Bear, for being a part of what we're doing here tonight. Join us next Monday. We are tentatively talking to, I believe it's XRP Patty. He's going to be joining us here. We're going to be hearing what he has to say. We're going to be discussing a little bit more XRP and getting his take on that. We're going to hopefully be doing a simulcast with him, if not a tape delay. So always looking to our chance to join other people's communities. Or if you do have a YouTube channel, you got something to say worth listening to, reach out to me. My name is Red Baron. You can join our Discord. Reach out to me, and let's see if we can get together and cooperate on some information and put out some good content that benefits the both of us, and of course, indeed, the community. So until tomorrow, when I'm going to get back on my live stream and get back on predictive programming and starting to talk and predict the future using my desktop digital ball, we're going to call it quits for tonight and kick you out of the treehouse. So until tomorrow, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.